And I have said in the past, and I wrote about this in Playmakers, that if Chris Sims was going through what he experienced in September of 2006 against the Carolina Panthers on a hot day in Tampa, bruised and battered and repeatedly hit, somebody would have checked him out at some point before the end of the game. Somebody would have said, you're out of the game, you can't continue. At what point, I wonder, and maybe this is something we need to look into, at what point should someone be ready to say, hey, Justin Herbert, for your own good, we're removing you from this game? Even though it's not a concussion situation, they still at some point, Peter, need to have a threshold where you've got all these people there with a button that can pull a guy out of the game for a proper evaluation, a full and complete, take him into the tent, check him out, take him into the locker room if need be. At what point do you do that for something other than a head injury? I think it's a fair question to ask.
I do think it's a fair question, but Mike, I think what a team would say and what coaches would say is they would take the tape out of this game and show the two passes that Justin Herbert threw right then and say, this is a guy who is in some pain right now. Football is a sport of pain. And how, if he is totally incapable of functioning and or protecting himself, how did he make those two plays right there? And, how did he thread the needle in the end zone the way he did? And so, and I think I would say that on both of these plays, he probably accounted for the pain he was having. Watch this throw right here. Watch this throw. It's just, he almost sidearms it. He almost Tekulves it, not the submarine, but he sidearms that throw. And I'm not sure that is his absolute natural throwing motion. So I think he was sort of accounting for the pain that he knew he was going to have and just throwing the ball and subjecting himself to some pain, but not feeling like he absolutely was incapable of playing.
And the counter to that is, if you're somebody from the union and you're having conversations about the NFL where the threshold should be for mandating an examination in game of a player, you show the run that we talked about where he just threw it away. And I mean, that's the counter to it. Like, at what point, and this is my question, I'm not saying it should have happened last night with Justin Herbert, and obviously he was able to throw the ball at the end of the game. My point is, they have a mechanism that's in place, primarily, if not exclusively, to watch for head trauma and to get guys checked out if they've possibly had concussions. Where below the ears does that get triggered for other guys who may be out there when they shouldn't be and may require a check before they're cleared to continue? I'm just saying it's a question to raise at some point, and I think about what happened to Chris, and at what point would what Chris was going through in September of 2006 cause someone to be the adult in the room to say to the player who wants to prove himself? And Chris has explained this. He's the son of the quarterback with the laissez-faire upbringing, as Steve Young inadequately and inaccurately said back at the time. But he wants to prove himself. This is his opportunity. He's not coming out. You got to have somebody there who grabs him and pulls him off the field. And that's my question. If we're going to do it for head injuries, do we do it for other injuries where a guy may have another busted spleen and we just don't know about it and he's out there still playing? That's my only question. I'm not saying it was right or wrong last night. I'm just wondering whether or not there should be a mechanism in place and when it activates. And who knows? Who knows? Because we still don't know when it properly activates when a guy's potentially had a concussion.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.